Hi everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Three Guys Talk Football. That's right, not film, the other F in our lives. We miss football, so we decided to start a podcast to talk about it. And in this first episode, we're going to talk through our Dream 11 from the Premier League era, because football did not start before 1992. Sorry, Liverpool fans. Hello, Nathan.
Hello. We're such millennials, not acknowledging that football was like...
No, the reason is, right, because this is our personal 11. There's also Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hello there.
Yeah, these are our kind of personal Dream 11. So obviously they've got to be in our lifetime, really, for us to... The ones that kind of shaped why we love football, gave us the big moments in our lives, that sort of thing.
Yep. It's
as much that as it is who are the best players, you know. So let's go through our favourite teams so that listeners can hurl abuse our way for who we support. Start with you, Chris.
I am, for my sins, an Aston Villa fan, which is tragic, I know.
I feel like Aston Villa, of the three that we support, Aston Villa will get you the least abuse.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan...
from Birmingham or not.
Exactly. You've got one city that hates you. We've got entire countries. I'm a Chelsea fan. And Nathan?
I'm a Liverpool fan. So for me, football only really started... Well, it ended in about 1990 and then kicked back up again last year.
Yeah, it came back for a couple of years when you won the Champions League.
Yeah, when you
that was a good year.
Rafa times.
Yeah, it was nice for football to come back. And then I think we signed Christian Paulsen for midfield, and then it died again for a few years.
And then you're all right, back into hibernation.
Yeah.
When did you sign Andy Carroll for 35 million? Because that was bad.
Who? Wait, we signed who for what?
Andy Carroll.
2011 it was.
No,
because we signed Fernando Torres.
No, we signed Luis Suarez, and I think that was it for that year.
Look, we took Torres off your hands for 50 million. You had to take a hit somehow. We
absolutely screwed you on that deal. We knew that he was on the decline.
Right. Yeah. Somehow we didn't. His knees were gone. He still managed to score in a Champions League semi-final and get the Golden Boot in the Europa League, basically carrying us to that trophy. So for me, he's still, £50 million at the time was ridiculous. It was record-breaking.
In the name of all that's holy, tell me that he's not in your 11.
No, he's not in my 11. God. Not in my Chelsea 11. No spoilers.
Wow.
No, but looking back on it now, I mean, that guy worked hard every time. And I'm just saying, he deserves a bit more respect,
Yeah, he doesn't deserve the stick. He wasn't Shevchenko.
Exactly. And I still love Shevchenko, but yeah, Shevchenko had no excuse, really. Torres was injured already.
Yeah.
And he came in having to replace Drogba. That was the plan. And
it's difficult in itself.
That's impossible in itself. We had Diego Costa come in, and he could play well when he wanted to.
Or headbutt people.
Oh, headbutt people when he didn't fancy scoring. So yeah, anyway, Torres, love him. I absolutely love him. But he's not in my team.
What is the format of today's session?
We will run through Aston Villa first, Chelsea second, Liverpool third. For the linguists among us, that is in alphabetical order, just to save any quarrels about preference and that sort of thing. And yes, the request of Chris is the first time and only time that Aston Villa will top the table in his lifetime. So we've made his day as well.
You have made my day, lads.
So yeah, let's go on with it, Chris, as the Aston Villa fan. Talk us through. We're going to go player by player within each team. And we'll start off with the supporter, the expert, the all-seeing eye.
In goal, I have gone with Thomas Sorensen, which is a choice, I know, but bear with me.
It is a choice.
It is a choice.
Sorensen was the goalkeeper before Brad Friedel came in, and before basically our goalkeeping standards went dramatically down with Brad Guzan. But he was also...
and that guy, Brad Guzan, stuck around as well.
I know. You could not get rid of him.
You could not get rid of him.
Mainly because no one else wanted him. And I'm like, why did we keep playing him when we had Shea Given and Brad Friedel on the bench for years? Anyway, point is, Sorensen was part of that regular in the top 6 team. the amount of like games he saved us in was mental. He was like the only goalkeeper I've ever seen like live able to actually stop Alan Shearer from scoring more than 2 goals. He was just a machine. Like some of the saves he made were mental. Because the problem I have with Friedel is like he'd either be an absolute god, or he'd just let in something from his near post for no reason.
Yeah.
And you'd either have one or the other with Friedel. Whereas with Sorensen, he was just an absolute tank, and he doesn't get the love he deserves because he went on to go like save Stoke in the Premier League for like 4 years as well. It was an absolute.
Yeah, genuine. Yeah, that's a good shout. I think I've gone for Shea Given just because I think reliable goalkeepers. He's up there, like you say. He didn't really make. He wasn't a world class goalkeeper by any stretch, but I know the Match of the Day podcast. He was in the top 10 for that, and I can see why because he was around for a long time, and he was just a calm head at the back. And as a Chelsea fan now, having to watch Kepa basically offer no support to defenders, I have a lot of respect for a goalkeeper that will actually marshal the defence, and he was one of the best at that, I think.
The reason I haven't got Shea is purely because he was only there for like 2 years where he was doing it.
Yeah. Shea Given, like you say, Shea Given. I think Newcastle more than anything.
Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, he's one of the most underrated goalkeepers I think in the Premier League.
Yeah, and that's it. And like Chris said, really, I mean, Sorensen, he slipped my mind to be honest, because like you say, he got the job done and he didn't really make a big fuss about it. So I didn't really contemplate it. But I think I've got a soft spot for Shea Given. I just think he's a quality keeper.
Yeah, that's fair. Have you gone for Nate Dog?
Well, I've completed the Holy Trinity because I've gone for Brad Friedel.
Fair.
So similar sort of reasons to Shea. Like I think he's one of the most consistent goalkeepers going. Like he was never going to be world class, but I think he brought like that calmness to a back four.
He did.
He did that wherever he went. So he was the first name that came into my mind when I thought of an Aston Villa keeper. Sorensen's a good shout though. Sorensen is a very good shout.
He also loved playing against Man United. He's like the only goalkeeper I've ever seen who likes playing against United. The amount of times he just annihilated him, it was amazing.
And anyone who screws over Man United is a good player in my book. So.
And the hatred comes that way already.
Yeah. Exactly.
Left back?
Right. So the fullbacks at Villa is a problem. I'm not going to lie. It's a problem position. It always has been. It still is today.
Yeah, looking at the ones I picked, it makes me sad for you.
As much as I love Matty T, bless his heart, he does try.
He's a worker.
He's not very good. Bless him. He does try. But so the left back for me, I've gone with Boomer purely because there was no one else I could have got. There was J. Lloyd Samuel, but no, just no. It's got to be Boomer for the fact that he was part of that top 16. But that's the only reason. It's not actually anything to do with him.
Yeah, I feel like this is a position we can quickly move on from. I mean, I've gone Lloyd Samuel.
I've also gone Lloyd Samuel.
Yeah, just because, again, he's the first one that comes to mind. I think that's genuinely it.
That's the thing left. We've not been like we've had like Kieran Richardson at left back, Jordan Amavi at left back.
Oh dear.
All like before or after they were good players.
You're gonna hate me for right back. You're gonna absolutely despise me for right back.
If you put Mika Richardson, I will cry.
Oh no, God no! Oh my God, I forgot you had Mika Richardson.
Mika Richardson, yeah, what a man.
But no, he's not getting there. He's so great.
He was the live wire, that lad.
Yeah. Oh, Jolly and Lescott, please tell me no one's got Jolly.
No. Who have you gone left centre back, Chris?
Left centre back, I've gone Olaf Melberg. I mean, it can't be anybody else, can it? Really?
Fully support you in it.
Melberg was just a tank. He was an absolute machine at Villa, and you can only just give him plaudits. I don't really remember a game where he really did anything wrong. He was just amazing.
How long was he with you for?
Oh, donkey's years. He was there for ages.
Because I first started getting into football properly, I'd say around like 2003, 2004. Yeah. I know he was there then because I used to collect shootout cards. That's one for the kids. And
that is one for the kids.
And even before Match Attacks days, that is.
Yeah, exactly. And you had Melberg, and he was like a shiny one. He was like, like according to them, your best player at the time, which is concerning. But
I mean, it was probably true, but like because you're going to remember that was the team where like John Carew was our starting striker regularly.
You leave John Carew alone.
I love John Carew. I absolutely adore him, but just
We'll
when,
talk about this area later. We'll talk
yeah,
about
we
this
will,
area.
we will. But for
Um,
Melbourne, he was there for 7 years, made 232 appearances, and then we sold him to Juventus. So,
Oh my god, yeah, he went to Juventus.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, see, you've done the same, Nathan. I'm guessing you've picked him.
Yeah, I've got Melbourne. Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone Mings, which is a bit premature, I know, because he's only been there less than 2 years. But for me, seeing the influence that he's had already, and seeing how much he's grown at Villa, I think as well, he's become a leader at the back.
he has.
And yeah, you wouldn't be in the Premier League in the first place without him, I don't think, and you definitely wouldn't have a chance of staying in without him this season. Like, every time he's been injured, it's noticeable.
Yeah, no, that
But-
that that December where we didn't have him and we shipped something like 15 goals, it was shocking.
Yeah, but again, that comes down to personal preference as well. I think because I like watching him play because he's a really interesting centre back.
No, I've got a lot of time.
Melberg, yeah, it's tough to argue.
Well,
Right centre back.
The right centre back, I've gone with my heart over my head. My head tells me Larson because Martin Larson was, again, like Melberg and Larson, that partnership was incredible, but purely because year after year he kept us in the Premier League almost single-handedly. It has to be Ron Vlaar. It just has to be.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've got Ron as well.
Concrete Ron.
Concrete Ron was an absolute tank. He, not only did he regularly keep Villa in the Premier League, he also managed to somehow get a Dutch side with Robin van Persie at like 30, Robin at 33, and like Schneider as well. Single-handedly marshalled that defence through to a semi-final. Like,
Yeah, through to third place. Yeah,
it was mental.
he was
Absolutely
ridiculous in that
mental.
tournament, and he was ridiculous for Villa. I think of all the players we mentioned now, he's the only one that I watched at the time and thought I'd have him in the Chelsea squad.
He'd walk into any of those top 6 sides, apart from United at the time, because of obviously Vidic Ferdinand. He would have walked into any of the side.
He was just a no nonsense centre back though. Like he wasn't like, because obviously now it's more about like ball playing centre backs and that sort of thing. Where he was just no nonsense, flying into tackles. He'd put his head in. He'd put his head where a head should not go.
Honestly, the amount of times you just head something, you're like, dude, why is your face there? Stop it.
It's like what I wanted Martin Scale to be.
Yeah.
He is the upgraded Martin Scorsese, isn't he? Let's be honest.
But when you had year after year like Ron Vlaar next to like Nathan Baker or Kieran Clark, it was just like, oh, for God's sake. Because he was wasted in that like Villa back four. He really was, because he was like head and shoulders above everybody else. But I mean, partially because he was just like chop your legs off as well. But yeah, it's got to be Ron Vlaar for me.
Yeah, I think this position made me the most sad when I was putting together this Villa team. Right back, it's not a great selection, is it?
It's not.
It's not. It's Matty Lowton or Mark Delaney, really. They're your only two proper. Or Stephen Warnock is a proper outside chance.
Stephen Warnock. Wow.
But,
I have terrible memories of Stephen Warnock.
yeah. So, but like, that's you know when Stephen Warnock is your top 3. That's how bad our right back position. It always is.
Who did you go for in the end?
I went with Mark Delaney.
Fair.
Purely because he was the most consistent out of the 3 of them. But I do have a soft spot for Matty Lowton. I think the position was never really filled properly after he left, and I don't think it still is. Frederick Gilbert is okay, but he bombs forward way too much for me. Doesn't cover his back for all the time, and that's why Nakamba's just out of position constantly.
See, I went for Alan Hutton.
Yeah, I went Hutton as well. Yeah. I was
mainly just do like a choice.
I could not think of a single other Villa right back, so I just panicked and put in Alan Hutton.
Yeah, I think he's one of those that was loyal to the club.
Yeah. Like he went through a lot of crap, but the reason I didn't go for Alan Hutton was the season we went down. Like, he was shocking.
Yeah, he was nowhere to be seen, was he?
No, him, Lescott, Richards, just left Amavi as a back foot like by himself. And it was a shambles. It really was a shambles, and I can't forgive him for it, despite the fact that he, stayed with us and battled it out in the Championship. And I do have a lot of time for him. Scored that belting goal against Birmingham, obviously, but I can't put him in my all-time Villa 11. I just can't.
Yeah, and I think this comes down to one of those things where when you're stuck watching a player week in, week out, it changes your view.
Yeah.
It does. It really does. When I had to watch Alan Hutton for 38 games that season, it was
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, I
shambles.
think I'd be sick of him by that point as well.
Whereas I only watch Alan Hutton twice a year. It's when when you played Liverpool. So
Yeah, and he was nice to us.
yeah, he probably gave us a few goals. We had a soft spot for him.
Just out of interest, Chris, what's your formation for this?
So I've gone 4-3-3.
Okay, so who's in your midfield?
So I've got a three-man midfield. It's basically like a little triangle. So I've got two like more defensive-minded midfielders and then one attack-minded midfielder. If this was in a couple of years, John McGinn would walk in easily, but it's not, and he's not been at the club long enough yet. So first one, I'm going to go Gareth Barry.
Has to be.
It's got to be
the most reliable centre mid you will ever come across.
He on it, like when we sold him to Man City, I was gutted.
Yeah, I remember everyone thinking Man City were trying to get to this, to this European elite stage, and they bought Gareth Barry, and people were like, eh? But then he went and played pretty much every game for him in that period, and was they were a mess when he wasn't there.
Yeah,
I think he's up there with like the most Premier League appearances out of anyone ever.
He's just below.
Which is crazy, but he's a manager's dream, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he would do a job every single week, and he would put a
Barry broke it, didn't he? I thought Barry broke it.
No, he did. No, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Broke it when he was playing at West Brom.
Yeah, he's been around. Barry's in mine as well.
He has to be.
He has to be.
Yeah.
The two names are just like Gareth Barry and James Milner were the one I was like toying over because Millie was basically filled the same position.
I think
Milner
went on to better things though. I think.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Man City was really good for him as well. Actually,
he's not doing bad for us either.
We don't talk about that.
What formation have you done, George?
I've gone 4-4-2.
Yeah, I've done 4-4-2.
I'll tell you the reason later on. But yeah, there was two players that had to get in there, so I had to tweak it.
That's fair.
Okay.
Who is the other defensive midfielder?
Stilian Petrov.
Yes.
Captain
Correct answer.
I was going to say, you are correct.
Yeah.
Like, he was first name on team sheet. I'm not going to lie, boys. Like as soon as it was there, I was like Petrov. It's got to be. Like
he is Aston Villa. Like through and through.
He was like the only reason he stopped playing was because he got leukemia. Like, and then after he got the all clear, he tried to come back. When we were in the championship, and I would have had him back. Regardless, I would have had him back, even though he was 37 at the time. I would have been like, just keep him around that dressing room because Stilian Petrov was an absolute machine.
And he was a proper leader.
He was. He really was.
I look at the Villa team now, and they would be so much better if they had a Petrov in there.
They would. Well, I mean, our only real leader is Mings. I know Grealish is captain, but he leads by example, not necessarily being a voice on the pitch.
Exactly.
Whereas Mings is that voice. Whereas anybody else really anywhere? Elmo maybe, but if I don't know.
Who's the attacking midfielder?
It's got to be Jack, isn't it? It's got to be Grealish. You can't not have a Villa 11 without Grealish in it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when I first put this together, he didn't cross my mind, and then when I thought about it, I was like, actually, it's the same as Mings. Those two are Aston Villa at the moment. They are carrying big time.
They are, and it's not just. Before we went down as well, you could see the player he was when he was playing under Tim Sherwood. You could see it. It was there. It's always been there.
And to play well under Tim Sherwood is near impossible. Unless you're Nabil Bentaleb.
You leave Tim alone. But no, it's got to be Jack Grealish. This is why I've gone with the 4-3-3 formation, was because I wanted to get Grealish in there where he wasn't on the wing.
This is my issue. Yeah. Switching to 4-4-2 means I put Jack Grealish in the right wing, which is just not the one. He loses his influence out there. He's still a player. He probably even scores more goals in a way. But he does not run the game out on the wing.
No, he doesn't. He goes missing.
Yeah, you want him in that free role, don't you? Middle of the park.
Exactly.
Yeah, that Hazard role.
Yeah.
Just keeping things ticking.
Which is why I'm putting him behind the main strikers. So have you lads gone for a slightly different midfield then?
Well, I've gone 4-4-2. So obviously the two in the middle are Barry and Petrov.
Easy.
But then I've gone for two wingers. I've been a bit liberal with one of them position-wise. So I put Agbonlahor on the wing.
Gabby. Speaking of being pure Aston Villa, I mean,
yeah, say like
one man club.
He's literally Villa. Like he bleeds Villa.
He does.
Yeah.
And to be fair, he was really promising. Like he didn't go into the player that I think we all expected him to. Because I remember watching him at I went to the new Wembley for the first game to watch England under-21s, and he played there, and he was insane.
Yeah.
So he didn't grow into the player that you probably expected him to, but say Villa veteran at this point. So
yeah, no, he was so loyal to that club. It was mental. Like he refused to get shipped out when we went to the Championship, even though Steve Bruce didn't want him. He was like, "No, I'm staying."
Yeah.
No, I've gone with Agbonlahor on my right wing and my front three.
What about left wing?
Left wing is Ashley Young. Yeah.
Yeah, Ashley Young.
What a talent he was at Villa. It was ridiculous. Like at United, he was a proper useful player. But at Villa, he was a proper, really interesting player to watch.
He was fast when he needed to be, but also could bang in a free kick every now and again. And his crosses were sensational.
Yeah, I think the reason your strikers then were so influential is because they had delivery from that guy.
Exactly.
He could hit a finish as well. I remember him bending one in from 30 yards. It was one of the most beautiful goals I've ever seen.
Honestly, him, Carew, and Agbonlahor, I missed that so much. And I can see what Dean's doing at Villa at the moment. To be honest, he's trying to replicate that but he's just not got the players to do it. Wesley was the Carew kind of player, and to be honest, I still would keep him. But it's just our wingers let him down. They really did. When you're going in to the Man City game, I mean, you were with me at the time, George. We literally had Grealish on the wing and El Mohammadi on the wing, and it's just like, what is that? Our wingers at the moment are just shockingly bad. El Ghazi and Trezeguet just haven't got it. They just don't.
No.
And it frustrates me. But yeah, I think for a Villa all-time 11, it has to be Ashley Young and Agbonlahor on the wings for me.
Yeah, see, for me, like I say, I went 4-4-2, so I've got two big strikers up top, and one of them is someone I know you haven't added, John Carew. You mentioned him there. And in the O'Neill days, the guy was a beast, you have to admit.
He was. No, he was. The reason I haven't gone with Carew and instead up top finishing my 11, I've gone with Christian Benteke is the same kind of reason I went with Ron Vlaar. It's the fact that year after year he would just bag 15, 20 goals in that Villa side, it was not a good Villa side, let's be honest, lads. It wasn't. And for him to still be able to do that and attract a move to Liverpool as well, it was just mental.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. What did I say? What did I say before this, Chris? Don't talk about it.
Thing is, I don't begrudge him that move. Everybody has a go at him, but you can't really blame him. He wanted to go and improve his career, and it's a shame it didn't work out because I loved him at Villa, and I'd still have him back now. But over Carew, technical ability was better than Carew, and I think if you put him in that team with Ashley Young and Gabriel Agbonlahor, he'd be scoring 10, 15 goals more than Carew would.
Yeah. He was a much better goal scorer than Carew.
Yeah, the thing with Benteke as well, I was you think about his ability in the air was very good, but his touch, his feet was actually just as good in a lot of ways.
Exactly. He could do the hold-up play. He could finish a goal from 30 yards out. Could head a ball in. He had everything.
Yeah,
he had everything.
Yeah. Liverpool, we failed him. It wasn't a him problem. It was a Liverpool problem. We thought it'd be really funny to sign probably the best out-and-out striker in the league when it comes to banging balls into the box and just play everything over the top for him.
Yeah, try and get him to run onto things. He's not got pace.
Or play it to his feet on the halfway line and go, here you go, Christian, do something.
Yeah, no, you did shaft his career, I'm not gonna lie, because then when he went to Crystal Palace, his confidence was just shot.
Yeah, I was over the moon when we signed him. I was absolutely buzzing when we signed him.
Oh yeah, and especially because you beat us to that signing. We desperately wanted him. He chose Liverpool.
Saying and at the time we were not good either, so
it would have been interesting to see him in a Chelsea team as well.
Yeah,
because obviously you've got a record for having that kind of player.
Exactly, that we play more that style. We always have. even now, you look at Lampard, he likes having his big striker up top.
Mm.
I think he would have fit in a lot better, but sure he doesn't regret his decision.
No.
Yeah, and that's why I've gone 4-4-2 to get Carew and Benteke up top. I mean, imagine this is like Sean Dyche's dream. This team,
Yeah,
Barry and Petrov in midfield, hoofing it up to Carew and Benteke. I mean,
yeah,
It is. It's such a Burnley side.
yeah.
it is, but it's got there's talent in there as well with Grealish and Young.
Yeah.
Like this side would easily finish in the Premier League without a relegation battle. Like
Oh,
Yeah.
easy.
It absolutely reeks of a 1-0 home win, doesn't it?
it really does. Yeah.
Reeks of it.
Just a Grealish free kick into Carew, knocks it down to Benteke, job done.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Mate, I love John Carew. Carew's in mine as well. He's my other striker. Like, I think you're being a bit harsh on him. I think he's probably a better player than Benteke overall.
that's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
I think he's a more useful player, definitely.
Yeah, I think Benteke. I know I said that he's good with his feet as well, but I think Benteke is very, very good at doing one particular thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Carew had a bit of everything.
He did have a bit of everything, and his hold-up play was what made him O'Neill's favourite striker. I do get it,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just, as a fan, I think when we were like constantly being beat, you could always rely on Benteke to score, and I don't think that was there with Carew. He was feeding other people. He was like, Young would score, or Gabby would score, or Petrov would like bang it in from 30 yards out. It wasn't necessarily Carew's job. But if it's going to be my dream, like all time, I want as many goals as possible, and that's why I've had to go for Benteke.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that if Carew had like another yard or two of pace, it'd be unbelievable.
Oh yeah, if he had another yard or two, he'd have been incredible. And it's not a disservice to him because he is an absolute machine. And the other player I want to mention as well for up top was Darren Bent.
Yeah, to be fair, Darren Bent, what a player.
Not so much at Villa.
I think I was about to say his prime.
He got a disservice at Villa. If he'd actually been played, despite
that was weird. You spent quite a bit of money, right, to bring him in.
Yeah, record signing.
Yeah, I thought so. And then it's weird when that happens. We've had a few like that we spent a lot of money bringing in, and then for whatever reason,
I don't know why. I'd love to know, but
because he's done a job at everywhere else. Yeah.
Like,
who'd you go for managers? Out of curiosity.
O'Neill.
Yeah,
O'Neill.
It's got to be O'Neill, hasn't it? Yeah.
I honestly think Chelsea's the only one where there's going to be a bit of debate because Liverpool managers. Yeah, we'll get on to that.
Yeah, it's obviously Roy Hodgson, so let's just move on.
See, you say Roy, I say Brendan Rodgers, just because of the meme he became.
Curveball.
Yeah. Great character.
Curveball, Gerard Houllier. Oh no. I'm so sorry, Nathan. At least you've made up for it now.
Have we though? Because we haven't really won the league yet, have we?
Soon. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Moving on to a far superior team. But no, moving on to the glorious Chelsea. Everyone's favourite team. Definitely weren't voted the most hated team in the country on Mourinho as manager second time. We move on.
Established in 2004.
Yeah, all right, mate. Yeah, under Lampard, it's an interesting time. I don't think any of the players. I've got one player from the current squad in this team, and he's been there a while.
Okay.
But I think Lampard's doing a great job. I love him. He's a good manager. And I think some of these players, if we do this in 10 years' time, I do think a couple of those would probably make it in, hopefully, if they keep on the path. But I mean, I look at this team now and it makes me sad because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, Lampard will see you right. I think you've got I still maintain that he probably should have had another year or two at Derby, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he would agree.
Yeah, but I think
he knew this was a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, he's the man of the moment. Like,
yeah,
it was either that or he wasn't going to get it.
Exactly.
Plus, he's in at the time as well. Like, he's not going to have one bad season and get sacked. He's going to get given all the resources, and he's going to be given at least 5 years.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
he's going to be given the Klopp kind of bracket.
Yeah, he needs to build that team from scratch because, like I say, you've kind of got you've got the shell of a decent side there.
Yeah, we need to improve.
Yeah,
And
let Abraham mature a bit as well.
yeah, well, a lot of them really. They're all
Yeah.
very raw. Our youngsters. I'd say it's only really Reece James that looks like he's anywhere near polished, and he's still massively inexperienced. But I will say we owe Klopp a lot because he's shown that you can actually have a long-term plan that doesn't start off great, but if you build the squad and trust the manager, then you know you can become the best team in Europe.
Yeah, so cause the Premier League went through a phase in it, sort of around like 2008 onwards, where it was just managers were coming in, having 6 months, then being sacked again.
Yeah, hire and fire.
Yeah,
for all teams, it was crazy.
And Chelsea were the worst for it.
Oh yeah, we started that trend.
Man United aren't great either. Man United, Ferguson leaves, bringing David Moyes, they get rid of him, bringing someone else with a completely different philosophy.
Yeah, who actually did pretty well.
Yeah, it's just there's no consistency.
And yeah, the crazy one is teams lower down the division doing it.
Watford.
Yeah. Oh, Watford. Watford are a joke.
Yeah. Sunderland.
Yeah, they
did that, and now not where they are.
Remember that time that Dick Advocate cried?
Just
put that in there.
Strange time
to be a football fan.
But the best time for me to be a football fan was the era of Petr Cech in goal in his prime.
I've got that as well.
Yeah, same. For me, it's not Carlo Cudicini, is it?
Hey, of all the Chelsea keepers, Cudicini, he was a player, man. He was a lad. He was harsh because he actually was doing well in like the Ranieri era, and then you get in Petr Cech. It's not really much competition. But for me, obviously slightly biased, but for me, the best Premier League goalkeeper. You look at his stats; it's ridiculous. He's got like a clean sheet in half of his games. He's got like 4 Golden Gloves. And yeah, I've thrown Kepa under the bus already. I'll do it again. Cech was a leader at the back. If you messed up, he would give you a right telling off. He would organise the defence.
Imagine being told off by Kepa. It's like being told off by your 12-year-old cousin.
Exactly. He's got no authority. Whereas Cech was a proper mature adult. When even the likes of Terry and Lampard were still a bit immature. Like he just came in and was already a professional.
Yeah.
And you can see why he's now like one of the directors, and he's just a calming influence, and you just trusted him whenever anyone was through on goal. And I'm on the verge of crying right now, thinking of how we've downgraded. But yeah, he's just ridiculous. Courtois came in and did a good job for a while, but no one's replacing Cech.
No. Chelsea as well. Goalkeeper is such a like you say, because Cech made it his own for such a long time. I don't envy any Chelsea goalkeeper. Although you could do a lot better than Kepa. It's really a sad state of affairs when we've got a better goalkeeper than you.
Yeah, exactly.
How much you paid for him?
And Liverpool have 2. We paid 72 million. But yeah, Liverpool have 2 better goalkeepers than him, which makes it.
Yeah.
I know Adrian went off the boil a little bit, but come on.
No, mate, after that Atletico game, Adrian's dead to me.
Fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the Chelsea FA Cup game, to be fair.
Yeah, not great.
Okay,
not great.
Maybe he's not. Yeah. But Cech is the best, and I love him. We all agree, I assume.
Yeah, you can't argue with Cech. Just like what he did in like the amount of games that he played for you, like top of his game as well, was just ridiculous. So
yeah,
no arguments.
At left back, surely no arguments. Ashley Cole. I know that he's he's not the most likable off the pitch sometimes, or on the pitch sometimes, probably if you're playing against him. But unless you're an Arsenal fan, you have to admit he's for me the best English left back of all time.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of competition really.
No, again, fullbacks. It's not a glamorous role. It's becoming more so now with Alexander Arnold and whatnot. Whipping in balls and getting on the attack. But back in Ashley Cole's day, it was all about defending, and that's what he did best. He was just ridiculous. The goal line saves from this guy.
Oh yeah, he didn't do it. I was gonna say he did it multiple times.
Yeah, and he did get forward as well. He scored a couple of goals, which is just weird to think about. But yeah, for me, he's a proper fullback before the game evolved, and he was just solid defender.
It has to be Ashley Cole. I'm assuming you got John Terry as well.
And again, for me, the best captain in the Premier League era, and he's I mean, you can't.
Really? Like over Roy Keane and Vieira and
Yeah,
Gerrard.
Roy Keane and Vieira and Gerrard. Yes, easily, because he captained England. He captained England for a reason. Gerrard got it when things went to crap. He captained us from like 19 years old. He captained us to a ridiculous amount of trophies, and he was as soon as he went. You look at our defence now, and it's an absolute mess, and that's for a reason. And the guy was just consistently an 8 out of 10 every game. Apart from the period where he had the whole adultery thing, and then the racist thing. But other than that, on the pitch, he was just ridiculous.
He's a difficult one for me because I do not like him at all. And
and it's the same for Gerrard.
I do think he's slightly overrated, but he is in mine because you can't argue with what he won. And like I say, he was. I think he made a career basically out of. I would always argue that the centre backs that he played alongside, with the exception of maybe Cahill, were probably better in quality than he was. But he was just 110%er every single game.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why I say he's the best captain. He's a warrior. He's just ridiculous. He rallied us.
Yeah, but I think that like he played off of like Carvalho and Gallas really well.
Yeah,
like let them do the more, I'd say, like the more ball play and the fancier stuff, and he was just a no nonsense centre half.
Yeah, and something that we miss now.
Yeah.
When you look at our centre backs.
Yeah, still
he is. I'm not going to deny it. I love him. Carvalho was my other centre back.
Yeah, I went with Carvalho as well.
I was stuck between Carvalho and Gallas, and I went Gallas.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
He's an underrated player.
Yeah, he was. I think it was more. I just saw more of Gallas, as I say, because I don't watch them every week. I think I saw a lot more like highlights and stuff and things that he'd done, and he had like a mean strike on him as well for a centre back. It was ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Plus, I liked him a lot when he was at Arsenal as well.
So, yeah, I do think he stepped up a level.
I think that's why I went with Carvalho over Gallas, is because Gallas stepped up when he went to Arsenal.
Yeah. So when you say Carvalho, I always think more of Real Madrid.
Really?
Yeah. Like
no. What I will say is Terry and Carvalho were ridiculous. I mean, there was a reason that we set a record for least goals conceded with those two in Mourinho's first season, and they were just clicked. Yeah, there's also a shout out to Desai, because Desai was amazing and a massive mentor to Terry, and I'm a big fan.
Fair?
Big fan.
If you're listening, Marcel. No, right back again is a tough one. I mean, oh dear. Because we've had a few solid players there. Ferreira comes to mind because that guy was just a solid 6, 7 out of 10. Didn't really let you down. Didn't really offer much more. He was loyal to the club. I love him. Now I've gone for Azpilicueta, but I could have gone for Giuliano Belletti because that guy was a beast. I absolutely love that guy. He was a modern fullback before it was cool. He would get up and smack one in from 4 yards.
And then also not track back at all and get loads of people on the left wing just bombing past him.
Which Carvalho would then deal with, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But no, that's why I didn't go for him in the end. I think Azpi's our best all-round fullback, at right back even, and he's loyal and he just gets on with it. He's been shifted around the defence ridiculous amount.
He's the only player in your
back,
defence.
Right centre back, right back.
Say, the only one who plays in every single position, isn't he?
Yeah, and he never complains about it. And he's gone off the ball a little bit in the last couple of seasons, but when he first came to the club, he was just revolutionary after the sad days of Ivanovic.
That's the thing. I've had to go Ivanovic.
Yeah, I've also gone Ivanovic.
Not Bosingwa.
No.
Pod no.
Champions League winner.
For the eyebrows alone, he can stay away.
Eyebrow, singular.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I
don't understand your hatred for Ivanovic.
That's because you didn't watch Ivanovic week in, week out, give away foul after foul. You think Belletti was a liability?
I thought he was just very consistent. What you just said about Ferreira, I just thought he was, nothing special, but just solid.
No.
Plus, Suarez bit him, so I kind of feel bad for that.
Yeah, and he didn't get him sent off, so what does that say about him? No, he was there for a long time.
That's the thing.
That's the only thing you can say about him.
Yeah, somehow he was there for a long time.
I've had to go with Ivanovic for longevity, what he won, and the fact that I know you don't like it because he gave away foul after foul after foul, but also like he was just he did do a job, and he was a defensive fullback. He wasn't necessarily an attacking one. But yeah, you've not been blessed in right backs, have you? Really?
No.
Well,
It's like I've said
you
to
will
you
look
before
different.
recording that it's the only position I look at this 11, and it's the only one there's no world class player there.
Yeah, you've been blessed with like very good defence over the years, and fullbacks have just not served you that well.
Yeah.
Obviously, you had Ashley Cole, but even since then, you had Marcus Alonso.
Yeah, and for me, it's the same thing as Ivanovic. He's just a liability in the back.
Yeah.
If you watch him week in week out, you'd understand.
Yeah, so
But he still has a lot of respect within the Chelsea ranks, and I think that's for a reason. He was a battler.
yeah,
It's just he went through a couple of years where it was just painful to watch him. But who was not painful to watch? Michael Ballack. What
Ballack?
a player!
wait, have you gone 4-4-2 again?
4-3-3.
I've gone 4-3.
Left centre mid, Michael Ballack. I mean, he was just crazy. He's one of those signings. Like, how did we manage to tempt him to come to Chelsea?
So World Cup winner.
Yeah, because Chelsea, you look at these players, and we made most of them. Cech, Terry, Cole, Lampard. Spoiler. But, we made these players. Aspi even, they came, no one really knew who they were, and then we made them better. But Ballack came as a ready-made world-class centre mid, and he just took that midfield to a new level. I absolutely love Ballack.
Yeah, so I say I left Ballack out because I'll be honest with you, when he was with you, I didn't really see that much of him.
Yeah,
so that's more.
He was
more
only
of
there a
the
few
issue.
seasons, but
Yeah. So
he was part of a midfield three that I just miss every day of my life.
yeah, I mean, I've gone 4-4-2 again. So obviously, I think you'll know who one of the centre mids is. So I'm gonna say, so the other one is
John Obi Mikel.
Oh my god, just get out of here! I'm right. There's this whole thing on. I need to get this off my chest. There's this thing popping up online all the time now about the fact that John Obi Mikel was underrated. I'm sorry. No.
His influence was he as a player cannot be underrated because he's technically one of the worst players I've ever seen. But he did a job for a long time.
He did a job.
About Ivanovic doing a job.
Yeah, he did a job.
He's nowhere near this.
But because I've gone for Michael Essien.
Yes.
And purely because, again, I saw a lot more of him, and I just think he absolutely dominated that midfield.
He's one of those players where if he didn't get injured, he'd be talked about as one of the best players ever, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And him holding back, because he was just an absolute engine. So him staying back and doing the more defensive role, that freed up Lampard to do his bit going forward. And I think that balance is what made that team, because he was like 2008, I want to say. That's what made your team from there what it was, I think.
Yeah, and he's in my team in the centre of the midfield three for that reason. Yeah, he did the dirty work, but he was also an absolute beast going forward. I still remember that goal against Arsenal.
I was going to say, that goal that hit where it started about 15 yards outside the post to just curl back in. I've never seen a ball move like that.
And that was Essien, really, because he'd do that and then he'd go back and put in a crunching tackle. He was the box-to-box midfielder.
Yeah, he is. And he, because I'm not a huge Chelsea stan, as you've probably noticed.
Shocker, yeah.
But he was one of the few players that I looked at in your side. I was like, God, I wish we had him.
If you had him next to Gerrard, it would have been the same thing. Gerrard would have been taken to an even higher level, which is scary.
Yeah, exactly. I think he, at that point especially, because he ended up going to Madrid, didn't he? But he would have walked into any side in the world at that point, I think.
Yeah, and then, injuries kind of held him back, which is a shame.
Yeah. So I thought I'd show him some love.
What about you, Chris? What's your midfield looking like?
I've gone Essien. Kante.
Yeah, see, Kante is one of those, I think, again, if he hadn't gone off the boil the last couple of years, he'd be pushing for this team.
I don't think he's gone off the boil. I think it's just...
Well, it's not his
everybody else has gotten worse around him.
He's also been put in a position that does not suit him.
No,
I was going to say,
Yeah,
Sarah
He's
thought,
an owner.
Sarah thought it'd be a good idea to play the best centre defensive midfielder in the world at attacking midfield. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, and then Lampard's coming in and done similar.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
He's one of them where he benefits like having another box to box midfielder next to him, and then he can just like scoop up. But
Honestly, yeah, the midfield two in that Conte system of Matic and Kante
Exactly.
should not have worked, and it worked
shouldn't.
perfectly because it just let everyone else play the game.
exactly,
Yeah.
which is what you need and what Kante is good at. So for me, with Essien bossing a game next to Kante, then letting Lampard just go do what he wants. Why would you
That
not
would
have
be
that?
great. Yeah,
So
I wouldn't
that's
have
the
that just
formation I've
because
gone
Michael
with.
Ballack, but I
No,
can definitely
Essien
see
over
you
Ballack
thinking.
for me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, Kante over Ballack is what you're saying compared to mine,
Yeah,
and I can understand that because Kante is he's just an angel, isn't he?
I can
Yeah.
just picture Kante next to Essien being
Yes.
an absolute nightmare of a midfield. And then when you
Yeah.
eventually get past them, you've got to get past Carvalho and Terry. It's just like, for God's sake.
That would
Because
be
I
Sean
know-
Dyche's wet dream. Having those two as the defensive midfielders, that'd be like.
Not something I don't want to think about, Nathan. But yeah, I think a lot of people would put Makaleli in there. For me, Kante's better than Makaleli.
Yeah, Kante's
He's
the
Makaleli with legs. Like Makaleli revolutionised that role. He created that role.
He
I
did.
think,
But Kante took it to a new level.
yeah, I think Kante's probably the best in that position in the world at the minute. The main reason that I left him out is because I think he hasn't done it as consistently for you.
Yeah. Again, not fully down to him. He's been injured this season.
Yeah.
I think that's
totally.
positioning more than himself, which is why I've put him in. Because
Yeah,
I think there is a world-class footballer there.
Seasons,
Yeah.
Under Conte, he was
He's
ridiculous.
I think if he did this again in another 2-3 years, I might like feel differently. But
yeah.
That's if he stays at the club. There's talk of him, Lampard letting him go, which would make me cry.
well, he's older than you think, isn't he, as well?
He's 29 now, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
And the way he
not-
plays is not going to be one that you can carry on until 35. That's for sure.
Yeah, because as soon as his legs go, he's pretty much useless.
Do you want to
Yeah.
sell him to Villa for a laugh?
I'd rather him go to Villa than anyone else. For me, so yeah.
Oh, what a guy.
Are you sure he'd get in?
Easy. In that Villa team.
But you could play him up
He'd
front.
getting up, yeah, he'd getting up top. He'd getting in goal if I'm being honest.
Imagine a two-man midfield of John McGinn and Kante. I'd have that.
Yeah, that is a graft. Now, left wing for me, Eden Hazard.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Same.
Yeah, there's not much that needs to be said.
No.
He's carried us for so many years.
And then gone and
What a
messed
treat
it up
it
at
was.
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of a surprise, but it's also not because goals weren't his game, and Real Madrid brought him in hoping that they would be, which seems strange to me.
No, Hazard's game was like assists, but also just distracting defenders. That was the main thing that you used him for.
It's like Grealish, yeah. He runs everything around him, but he doesn't necessarily finish it off.
No, three people would be round him, which then meant that Willian could go and score like 10 goals, 15 goals a season.
Yeah, and he was just one of the most gifted footballers that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
He was just beautiful to watch.
Like my only criticism of him ever was that he was a bit inconsistent, but he made up for it because every now and again he just tap into this level where he was just unplayable.
Yeah,
like that last year at Chelsea, like probably wasn't his best overall, but I think he had that like 2-month period where he was probably the best player in the world.
yeah, and
Like I'll never forget that goal he scored against us in the cup. I still have no idea how he did what he did.
yeah, and then that goal against Arsenal where he just sat Coquelin onto his arse.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. He's like, I think he's the closest thing to a Messi that we've had in the Premier League.
oh, easy.
On his day, say he had a tendency to go missing for a few games, but when he was on, he was unplayable.
This is the thing for me is that, yeah, he went through spells where he wasn't part of the game, including an entire season in Mourinho's last.
Yeah,
And this is why, for me, he's not on the same level of influence as Terry, Lampard, Cech, Drogba, Cole. He's just a bit below.
yeah. I think there's a bit more disdain for him than those two.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But I will always love him for what he did for us because he kept us on that world class level. And now without him, it's obvious that we don't have him. And Hazard in this team would be just
Insane.
delicious. Yeah.
Should I do my other winger since I've gone 4-4-2?
Yeah, go on.
I went Zola.
Yes, he's my other winger as well.
Yeah, just again, like he's a difficult one because he's a bit before our time, I think. Like
Yeah, just.
he was just coming to the like just about leaving when we got into football, but he's an absolute icon of the game. And some of the highlights I've seen of him, he looked absolutely unplayable.
And again, he's one of those where apparently before we were even formed, how we managed to get him at Chelsea and keep him there for so long is credit to him for being such a loyal player. Because he could, again, he's one of those that could have gone to any club in the world because he was just ridiculous.
And he still loves Chelsea as well. You can tell, like he's still in and around the setup and everything. So.
Yeah, he came back as assistant manager under Sarri.
Yeah,
no, I've got a lot of time as well. Though.
Yeah, he's a Chelsea legend, hands down.
Nice bloke as well. Not a great manager, but a nice bloke.
Not a good manager at all, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
But a lovely guy and a club legend.
Yeah,
and that leaves one more position for my team.
I've still got my winger to go.
Oh, go on, Chris. Okay. My bad.
I've gone with an absolute curveball of Malouda.
Oh yeah, you haven't, yeah.
Absolute curveball, Malouda, and I'll tell you for why.
Oh my god!
All right, Bryn, go on, Bryn.
On his day, right, he was unplayable, and the fact that in that
hear him out.
I'll hear him out.
No, he actually on his day, and he's part of that 2004-2005 team that just absolutely stormed the league, and. You forget how important he was because it's quite easy to overlook him because you've got Lampard, you've got Drogba, you've got all these big names, and then you've got Malouda. I think it was like 15, 16 goals he scored that season, something stupid. And I don't know, just for me, if you've got technical ability on one wing with Hazard, right, and what I'd want on the other wing is just somebody willing to do a job and bomb up and down, which is what Malouda would give you.
Now I do have to go to VAR for this one, Chris. He came to the club in 2007.
Oh, was it 2007? Sorry, my apologies.
But I will say
he did have like a ridiculous amount of goals in that season that he played for Chelsea.
Yeah, and
it was one of the ones.
2004-05 for 09-10 when we set a goal scoring record.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Thank you.
We beat Ferguson's United, and it was that front three of Malouda, Drogba, and Anelka that just tore teams apart. We beat Wigan 8-0 in the final game, and all we needed was a win to win the league.
But this is what I mean.
Just went overkill.
This is what I mean. He gets forget because of Anelka and Drogba.
So, yeah,
he was a key part of that, and he played a lot of games for us, including the Champions League final, of course.
I just think that Malouda got blessed by being a very, very good Chelsea team.
Yes, no, he was a key part of it in his own right.
Because I have the figures in front of me now because that's who I am as a person. His best goal scoring season was 13 in 2010-11.
Yeah,
and I think say that he set the record. Yeah, but
he was all about assists, and he was all about making Drogba an even better player. The Malouda Drogba combination was just insane. He basically, without Malouda, Drogba would not win the Golden Boot in that season, and we might not have even won the league. So yeah, I can definitely see where from. I think over Zola though, no. Yeah. But I always respect people who respect Malouda.
I love it, and it's based on, like you say, what we're saying. It's based on like what we remember and stuff. And the Chelsea team involves Malouda, doesn't involve Zola, so that's why I went with Malouda. But if we're doing like all-time Premier League 11, it's got to be Zola, isn't it? Really.
I think a lot of mine comes from the fact that I always get him and Kalou mixed up.
Yeah, no, they're two very different players.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah, Kalou was not.
Solomon Kalou.
Not all that blessing.
Yeah, so
he did a job. Like, yeah, they became one.
Yeah.
Solomon Malik. No, Kalou was like Mikel in that he was there, and
everyone saw him. Everyone saw him be there.
Yeah, and
you can't say he wasn't.
Yeah,
yeah. There's no.
And honestly, he got some goals, including some really important ones, and he won a ridiculous amount. But yeah, you can definitely make the argument about being in a better team.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Kalou definitely was. But now Malouda for me, just in terms of the wingers I've seen at Chelsea.
No, Nathan, who's the other guy? Is it Costa?
What, the my other striker? Diego Costa.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Just because.
So have you not got Drogba?
Yeah, I've got him and Drogba.
Oh, you got Drogba and Costa.
4-4-2, didn't he?
Yeah, Costa is like. I think he got hard done by at Chelsea because with that first season, especially where he came in, he was the best player in the league for me. Like, yeah,
he was.
And
well, hard done by. He did it to himself.
He did, but I just think I think if you just stuck with him, I think he would have, because like everywhere that he's been since, like he's just shown his quality.
Yeah, definitely, but he made it difficult for himself.
That's the thing.
And the thing is, we needed him in that period. We were just on the edge of fourth, and he started talking about wanting to go to China, and his head got turned. And he was doing this with Antonio Conte, who you do not get a second chance with.
Yeah, no, I get all that, and like his attitude's always been a bit of a problem.
But on his day, no, there's no doubt.
But like as an out-and-out goal scorer, there's not many players that you've had that are better than him, except for
we haven't replaced him. except for Alvaro Morata, obviously.
Yeah.
We haven't replaced him yet. And in terms of goal scoring or his presence on the pitch.
No.
Yeah, that's the thing.
If Abraham gets a bit more of a bite to his game, he could be there. But at the moment, he needs to step up. I think Abraham next season. He's had a great season for us, but yeah, if he wants to be on Costa Drogba level, then there's another step for him. Yeah. Manager's an interesting one. I will guess that you both got Mourinho.
I did go Mourinho.
I did go Mourinho.
For what he's won at Chelsea, it can't be anybody else.
Definitely, yeah.
He took you to the next. He made you like a competitive Big Four. So.
Without Mourinho, you wouldn't be where you are.
Yeah, and I definitely take all that on board. But I went with who I love most, and that's Carlo Ancelotti. He was sacked way too soon. Yeah. He was sacked for finishing second. I mean,
he's only had 87 games in the Premier League.
Yeah, and that's not his own fault.
It's not.
We played the best football under Ancelotti. The most exciting football. We weren't the most efficient in terms of like Mourinho era. Back four was ridiculous. We ground out those 1-0, 2-0 wins. We were insane. But Ancelotti era, like I say, 8-0 against Aston Villa, 8-0 against Wigan. Oh, it was just incredible to watch. And I just love Ancelotti because he's just a top guy. Like, we sacked him finishing second. He still loves the club. I mean, yeah, what a man.
I just want to put out there right now that I think if you just stuck with Di Matteo, he could have been your best manager.
Definitely. I don't know what Abramovich had against him, but he took the very first opportunity. He didn't want to give him the full-time job in the first place, but when you win the Champions League, you
can't really, yeah.
But he took the very first chance to get rid of him and brought in Rafa Benitez, who did an alright job, actually. I'll stand up for Rafa. I like Rafa.
No love here for Villas-Boas. Can't believe it.
Or Luis Felipe Scolari.
Oh my God! What a few months that was.
That era.
What a curveball! I've forgotten all about Scolari.
Mate, I'd have Gus Hiddink over either of those any day of the week.
Oh, big Gus!
Any day of the week.
Big Gus.
I love Gus. Now, from Rafa to Rafa, probably not. But Liverpool team coming hot. Yeah. Nathan, who's your goalkeeper?
Well, I think I said to you before we started recording this, like, this was really difficult because we've got a lot of legends, like, and it's hard to work out because this team that we've got now is clearly the best. It's hard to think which one. Whether you go for, you go for the big name, or you go for the one who's doing it now in our best team. So
that's the thing. Like, I've had to not put Henderson in, and it's made me sad. Yeah,
Henderson's not in mine, which made me sad. But
Henderson is absolutely nowhere near mine. I'm sorry, but give him you look at the players that you've had in midfield.
Give him a couple of years, then we'll talk. But
we will not.
So yeah,
you can talk to yourself.
He's going to be a more successful captain than Jeff.
Don't talk about it.
That is true, but
we don't talk about it.
Anyway.
Yeah. Like, I feel like everyone thinks about Pepe Reina when they say goalkeeper, but I think one of the greatest myths in football is that Reina was a good goalkeeper.
Chris knows this way too well.
I am upset by Pepe Reina.
Great shot stopper, but he was a liability. So I've got Alisson.
I've gone Alisson. Alisson's just, for me, best goalkeeper on the planet right now.
Yeah, he's just... The thing is as well, he's behind such a good defence that he's not, like, it's so easy to lose concentration. But he only has to make 2 or 3 saves a game, but he's always there.
The thing with Alisson as well is, like, he's the only player in the world who would keep Ederson out of that Brazil team.
Yeah.
Exactly. Brazil have possibly the 2 best goalkeepers in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Plus, like, I think the impact that he's had just from the couple of years that he's been with us, like our defense. Obviously, I know Van Dijk got thrown in there as well, but like we just look so much more calm than we did when we had Karius.
And this is what I'm talking about with Petr Cech.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a similar sort of thing.
A good goalkeeper makes the defense better.
Yeah, like
it makes the individual defenders better.
It's the first time since I've been a Liverpool fan where I'm not terrified when they go 1-on-1.
Yeah.
Like,
if anything, you're confident.
Yeah. Or when Alisson starts to take a touch and maybe try and go past a player even, I don't just go, what on earth are you doing?
Because
I actually trust him. I know he made that mistake pretty early on, didn't he, last year? But he hasn't put a foot wrong since then for me.
And I think he needed that mistake to realise that he's not in the Italian league anymore.
Yeah. I think
the Premier League strikers will hunt you down if you.
When you've got Jamie Vardy sprinting at you, you can't really be afforded to do.
Yeah, exactly. Like I thank Chelsea a lot for that as well, because I think you buying Kepa that same year and breaking the record for a goalkeeper.
No one even talks about it anymore, really.
Took all the pressure off Alisson, because not only was he not the most expensive keeper anymore, he was just he just became another signing. He wasn't.
Yeah. You can also thank us for not seeing in that deal, because we've been tracking him for a good couple of years and didn't finish it off.
And also props to us for looking at a goalkeeper that we put 8 past in a semi-final and thought,
he's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but to be fair, you would have put a lot more past him if it wasn't Alisson in goal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
Now this is an interesting one again. Left back.
Have we all got Alisson?
Yeah, all got
for left back.
Goalkeeper, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant for left back as well. Just Alisson all over the pitch.
Yeah,
that would be the dream.
It's just an Alisson 11.
Yeah. No, have you gone Alisson, Chris?
No, I have gone Andy Robertson.
I'm assuming you've gone Alisson for goal.
Yeah, I've got Alisson in goal.
Yeah, okay, right.
Okay, Andy Robertson. Yeah, it's. See, for me, I've gone nostalgia on this one, but I'll let you go, Nathan.
I've gone John Arisa.
Yes.
Purely because, again, I'm trying to find that balance between the team we've got now and the team from years past. And John Arisa, that left foot just did things to me.
God.
He broke a man's leg. He broke Alan Smith's leg just by striking
many football nets.
Yeah. And I think he's a bit of a cult hero at Liverpool, because I'm not under any illusion that he's a better left back than Robertson, because Robertson can do the lot. But I just think Risa, for the team that he was in, I just think the way that he managed to shine and the way the fans just love him now. And,
it's for a reason.
Yeah, and he's the same as a lot of players that are in that sort of era. Same with Daniel Agger and stuff like that. They're in a shocking team, but they just love the club. Yeah. So he's a bit of a fan icon now.
No, again, you talk about a modern footballer. He was one.
Yeah, he was
down that left wing, no problem.
Yeah, he wasn't an out defender. He was probably a lot more attacking. But again,
if he was playing wing back, he'd be one of the best in the world at the time.
Yeah, definitely. He just put it all on the line every game.
I can't put anybody but Andy Robertson in it. I'm sorry.
I can definitely understand. He was my first choice, and I was like, nah, I've got to go Risa.
£8 million from Hull.
I know.
Yeah. I know. What a bit of business that was.
I don't have words.
He doesn't have words
for the man, to be honest with you, because he's an absolute champ in terms of assists. He's the best left back in the league in terms of what he can do defensively. You miss him when he's not there, to the point where the only player you can put in is James Milner. Your fullback situation does need sorting though, because it's gone on too long where 2 injuries can kill your team.
Yeah, but the problem we've got is that there aren't any other fullbacks realistically that we could sign that would fit in our team.
Yeah, and then you've got the problem as well, who would want to play second fiddle to them, because they're always going to play.
Because I think the obvious choice is Ben Chilwell, but he's way more defensive, and I don't think he offers as much going forward as Robertson or Trent do.
No,
and he's not going to join Liverpool to play second fiddle to Robertson.
No, he's too good.
He's too good for that. Now, possibly Champions League team.
One thing I do find quite funny is that we got rid of Moreno, and now we started playing a formation where Moreno might actually make sense.
Does Moreno ever make sense?
He'd still be terrible.
As a player?
He'd still be terrible, but now that the defending pressure's kind of taken off him a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's like Alonso.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, Alonso could do a job in a Liverpool team.
Yeah,
no,
easy.
I'm all right.
Yeah. We'll that way.
Yeah, I'll take Milner at left back over Alonso.
Yeah.
You've only got him for one more year.
Nah, we've got to slap him with another contract. We've got to.
You've slapped him. You slapped him at Christmas for another 1 year extension, but after that, it's not looking likely.
Now,
I'll be devastated.
left centre back.
Left centre
I
back.
think I'll probably guess your two centre backs.
Virgil van Dijk.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other one is.
Jamie Carragher.
Yeah, it's same for me. It's got to be on it, Chris.
Yeah. I was in a massive debate between Van Dijk and Hippier.
Yeah, same. But I thought Van Dijk is
not.
Yeah.
You would not win the Champions League without Van Dijk. You don't win the Premier League without Van Dijk. I don't think.
This is the thing. He was like Hippier was club captain before Gerrard, and he was a staple for quite a few years. But the impact that Van Dijk's had, I feel confident that if you took any player out of our team, we'd be able to cope, other than Van Dijk.
Nah, Trent as well.
Yeah, but I think for a game or two we could cope. But I think if you take Van Dijk out of it, we just crumble. And I don't think Hippier wasn't world class. Whereas I think Van Dijk is the best defender in the world at the minute.
Yeah. Him and Koulibaly are just a different.
It was a crime he didn't win Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
I was surprised he didn't win it. I wanted him to win it, but and everyone talks about the money as well. Was it 80?
75 in the end, right?
No one even remembers.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'd pay it again. I'd double it now. He was worth it.
If you try and sell him now, it'd be 150, 160 easy.
Yeah, and he took no time to settle in. Within 2-3 games, he looked like he'd been playing for us for years.
Yeah, he just came in and just made himself captain of that defence.
Yeah, he just walked in and went, right, we can defend now, and everyone went, okay, no worries. He's so calm though, because that's what this what gets me most, because I used to play centre back when I was younger, and he's just so Warriors. Yeah, we're basically the same player. I have better facial hair though. that isn't true. But yeah, he's just so calm. He just doesn't flinch, and he never looks like he's putting in full effort. Everything just looks like the easiest thing in the world. He doesn't even look like he's breaking a sweat.
I still feel like he's got another level in him, which is scary.
Yeah, I think it's because we never seem to be. I haven't really seen him when we're backs against the wall, scrapping for a game sort of thing. He always just seems very cool and composed.
Wasn't there a stat last year where he didn't get dribbled past for an entire season?
Yeah. I think I can't remember who. It was somebody really average that broke it this year, but even that is it's just things like that.
It's just mental,
shouldn't be allowed to happen. Defenders getting dribble past is normal.
He's not. He shouldn't make centre half sexy. You know what I mean? Centre half is a boring position. That's why we've gone for people like Ron Vlaar and John Terry. You know what I mean? And yet there's Van Dijk just making it a Ballon d'Or position, being yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And we've been so struggling defensively for years. We never bounced back really from Carragher retiring, and even then, obviously he was on his last legs for a few years. And the fact that our best centre half for years was Daniel Agger. You know what I mean? So he's made us the team that we are now. For me.
And Jamie Carragher, just a club legend, isn't he? Really?
Yeah, it's got to be. Jamie.
There's not to say about Carragher. Him and Gerrard are Liverpool.
Yeah.
So we don't really.
He wasn't Terry Ferdinand level, but he wasn't far off. I don't think.
I think he got unlucky with the era that he played in, because he would have walked into any England team pretty much.
I was about to say, you stick him in the England defence now, and he is a whole other level.
Yeah, he's comfortably the best player and probably captain as well.
Yeah,
but he just got shafted by the fact that Ferdinand and Terry were a thing.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for him, but he'll always be a Liverpool legend. So.
And what about right back?
Right back was difficult because we have not had good right backs, so I had to go for Trent.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
he's basically created a new position the way he plays.
Yeah,
where basically a position where he doesn't even play right back for 85% of the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he replaces Salah. I really wouldn't.
I wouldn't be surprised if he moves into midfield.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just that wingy kind of area.
I say, I know he's young and he's only been he's been a first team player for the last couple of years, but he's probably achieved more than any other right back we've had.
Well, that quick corner against Barcelona
my God,
has made him a legend already. Because who thinks
21.
at any age, and then he was 19 at the time or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And I say, like, he's got a lot to learn defensively.
Massively.
But I think the fact that he's got the benefit of time, the fans are going to be super patient with him because he's from Liverpool. And I don't think there's a better attacking fullback in the world.
No. And very few better crossers of the ball in the world in any position.
Yeah. Just generally, including wingers. Like,
yeah,
he can put a ball on a sixpence every time.
Everyone knows what he's going to do as well, and they just can't stop it.
Yeah.
It's so predictable, but you can't stop it.
Now, formation 4-3-3?
I've gone 4-4-2 again, just because.
Mate, you are Sean Dyche.
Yeah, I love a 4-4-2. Love a 4-4-2.
Okay, so we'll go for the midfielders again this time.
Yeah, okay.
Centre mid.
Should I just do the obvious one?
Do the obvious two, I'm guessing.
I don't know.
All right, interesting.
So Gerrard, obviously.
Yeah. Gerrard.
I mean, if anyone ever picks a Liverpool team of all time without Gerrard in, then
it's like he's definitely our best ever Premier League player, and there's probably an argument for him being the best player Liverpool have ever had.
Yeah.
I'd argue against that, but go on.
Like, obviously, there's Dalglish and Rush and whatnot,
but he is up there.
Yeah, and for me, obviously,
he's up there for sure.
Being massively biased, he's the best all-round English midfielder we've ever had. So
I'm glad you've ever had that.
I mean, the
Lampard debate. We're not doing it.
I mean, that England's ever had, but okay.
I mean, I'd love to do a podcast on the Lampard Gerrard debate and like just deal with you two.
Well, considering this is already like an hour long.
We'll save it for another week.
I'm just going to summarise it by saying I think Lampard's better going forward. Gerrard's better all round. That's my.
To which I would say Lampard's passing game is completely underrated. And he was one of the best positional players.
Hasn't got the range of Gerrard though. Hasn't got the range.
Did you see the 3-2 in the Champions League semi-final? Anyway, yeah. All right.
If Gerrard Anderson,
they're both world-class players.
Both world-class players, yeah. And if they could learn that if one goes, one stays, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's pretty simple stuff.
Yeah. But, so I'm assuming you've all put Gerrard in.
Yeah.
So who else have you got in midfield?
Xabi Alonso.
Yeah, I went Alonso.
Yeah, this is what I mean. He's got to be in there.
Yeah, that's the thing. As much as I want Hendo, because I love Henderson, I really do.
I'm glad someone else likes Henderson. I thought I was the only person.
No, I adore Jordan Henderson, honestly. Like, I'd happily get a tattoo of that man's face. I genuinely love him.
Bit excessive,
but
okay.
It is a bit excessive. But, like, for me, you can't be club captain, winner of the Champions League, nearly going to be a winner of the Premier League, PFA player, almost PFA player of the year this year, and not get mentioned. So, but Xabi Alonso is next level.
Yeah, I think Henderson will hero. Watching him every week, we can see what he does. Whereas Alonso is a world class player. Like, his range of passing was next level stuff, and I think the fact that he went to Madrid and Bayern and did the same thing there kind of proves his class.
Exactly, and the problem with your midfield as well at the moment is the way it's set up. You don't have sexy players in midfield because you just have workhorses that do the job.
There's not one passer anywhere near the level of Xabi Alonso in that midfield.
No,
the closest thing is Henderson.
There doesn't need to be.
No, there doesn't.
It's a hard-working midfield.
Exactly, but that's because Trent and Robertson go forward and do your creativity for you. You don't need. Everyone's banging on about the fact that Liverpool need creativity in midfield. Why?
Well, yeah.
You've just got a 3-man blockade.
Yeah, I would like a little bit more in there.
Someone who can ping a ball.
Yeah, somebody who could break down a defence would be nice. But
I'd be interested to see Grealish in your midfield.
I was about to say Grealish would fit in perfectly.
I don't want Grealish.
I'd be interested.
I'm not a huge Grealish fan, I'll be honest with you. But
that's another debate for another time.
That's
clocking them up.
Yeah, that's a debate for another time.
Now, I'm going to come in with, I think, a wild card. I imagine this card's not going to be in anyone else's. Harry Kewell.
You're crazy.
Harry Kewell. I love Harry Kewell.
You are mental.
Mate, what a guy.
He had a glass knee.
Yeah,
He could not stay fit to save his life.
but when he played, he was exciting to watch.
He's an underachiever for us. He wasn't the player for us that he was at Leeds.
No, but
I think
in
he
terms of
scored.
just pure entertainment,
I think he
just love
scored like
watching.
10 goals for us in about 100 games or something like
That's
that.
double figures. No, he was an exciting player in an exciting team, I think. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Harry Kewell. And I looked at the rest of the options, and none of them were really doing it for me. Not gonna lie. Mascherano's a shout.
on the wing, or
Yeah,
This is
Mascherano
like
is
in three-man midfield. Yeah,
Okay.
Mascherano was a shout, but I think again he went to other clubs and did better things. Personally,
Yeah, I think it was like he showed the promise with us, and then he became that player at Barcelona. Probably.
yeah.
See, I've had to go
yeah,
4-4-2. I've gone Sean Dyche.
what position?
At right wing.
No, but
So
I've gone with Nathan and gone 4-4-2.
yeah,
I've
who are the
gone
wingers?
Mo Salah and Dirk Kuyt, or Kite, or however
Dirk
you say it.
Kuyt.
Nice.
Dirk
I'm glad,
Kuyt.
I'm
There's
glad
some
that
in
Dirk,
Sport Touch.
glad that Dirk got in there.
Dirk got in there for me as well because he was a
Nice.
battler. He was.
He
I
was
hated playing against
insane.
him. I hated playing against him. Yet your defenders had the ball for like half a second, and Cal was just there putting in a tackle somehow, winning it back.
Yeah, like
for us as well.
He was a big game player.
My memory of Liverpool, like under Rafa, is Kite. It's not Gerrard, it's Kite. Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
but
No,
not
honestly,
because obviously
just
because we're not fans. Because like I'd just watch him like once a week. Just he was everywhere, every single game, and scoring like screamers for fun because he was just mental.
He was a proper workhorse. Like that's one thing. Like he's a bit like James Milner now. Like he just runs and runs and runs and runs and just never stops.
I'll take him over Mane.
See, Mane's in mine.
I've gone Salah just because he's the fastest to 100 goals for a Liverpool player.
Salah, you can't deny his influence and how talented he is, but Mane is just a ridiculous footballer overall.
Yeah, I think I say our front three now is pretty well. It's the best we've ever had, by far. But I think Salah is the one that I would be happiest to lose.
And he's the one that you kind of expect to lose as well.
Yeah,
he just doesn't feel like a player that's going to stick around forever.
Yeah. Plus, like I look at Salah and I go, he's never going to top that season. Whereas I look at Mane and go, he's actually getting better and better.
He is. Yeah. He's terrifying.
So,
I do know what you mean, but that would mean I'd have to get rid of Cout. I'm not doing that.
No, I'm glad that someone put Cout in because I was heartbroken not to put him in.
We both did.
Yeah. So,
because we were saying this again before recording, but individually, the players that you had back in that time of Cal and Gerrard and Carragher, I think there were more individual players that scare me than when I look at this current team. They just didn't have the team aspect, and they didn't have the full 11 that you have now.
No.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Like that's what I mean. Like obviously Gerrard was world class, and we're lacking. We haven't got that one player now, especially going forward. There isn't that one player that you're like, he could do something insane at any point.
Yeah, I think every team needs someone who can do what Gerrard did and just smash it from 40 yards.
Yeah, but I think Mane might be the closest thing we've got to that because he can just unlock the door out of nowhere, and like he's so quick that he's difficult to mark.
Mane is mental. I will agree with you because you look at that. If you had your front three on the bench and you needed to bring somebody on in the FA Cup with 20 minutes to go, it would be Mane. You would bring on. But I don't know. Just I couldn't not put Carragher in. I just couldn't.
Yeah, I think they're very different. Obviously,
they are very different players.
Yeah,
but
Mane's better quality, but there is something to be said for.
There is a lot to be said, and like I say, he is my endearing memory of Rafa Liverpool. So
I love the guy.
Salah.
Love the guy. My other winger is Steve McManaman.
Oh, Steve McManaman! What a guy! McManaman is a shout. To be fair.
Yeah, and because he sort of started coming through at a similar time to Giggs, and those two were kind of touted of being the most promising, wingers in the country. Obviously, Giggs went on to be much better, But I think when he was first breaking through, there weren't many players better than him.
No, I always forget about Steve McManaman. Well, not
yeah, again, you talk about exciting players.
Yeah,
that
really
was
exciting.
just great to watch.
Yeah, and he wasn't always the quickest, but his feet on the ball were like they were so quick, and
he had a strike on him as well.
Had a strike on him, and he could go past 2, 3, 4 players effortlessly. He probably became, it's kind of a theme with us, like he probably became a better player when he went to Madrid. But I like to think we had something to do with it because it makes me feel better about my life.
I think you did. I think you can give yourself that.
Yeah.
So how many players are left? You got 2 strikers, right?
I've got 2 strikers. Yeah.
I've got 2 strikers.
Here's with the non-Torres one.
Neither of mine are Torres.
My oh my. So, okay, this will be interesting. Hit me.
I was going to say strikers. I'm not going to lie, strikers is a hard one for Liverpool. You've had some incredible strikers.
Yeah.
No, you have.
Yeah.
Suarez, Fowler, Owen.
Owen left too soon. Torres at Liverpool, for me, is one of the best strikers.
Yeah, Torres was like, he was on the cusp, but I think overall, I think Suarez was better.
Fair. I'd agree with that.
Suarez is the only player in the time that I've been watching Liverpool that has literally just blown me away with the stuff that he can do. The goal I always think about is, I mean, obviously he terrorised Norwich, which was funny, but there's also the goal against Newcastle where they sent it over the top, and he manages to bring it down, knock it around the keeper, and pop it in all in about 3-4 yards. I've never seen anything like that from a Liverpool player, and I think again probably got better at Barcelona, but didn't shine as much because he was next to Messi. Whereas for us, he was the star man. Yeah,
and the fact as well that Barcelona wanted him the season before, and he said he'd go, but he still gave you a season.
Yeah, and
what a season as well.
Say nearly single-handedly fired us to a title that we had no right winning. No, realistically, no right.
Literally no right win. Being even contenders that year.
I was gonna say John Flanagan should not have got a Premier League winners' medal, so I'm kind of glad that he did.
Your defence that year was shocking.
It was like we won every game like 8-2. Like we always conceded, but we just outscored everybody.
Yeah, because Sterling, Suarez, and Sturridge, it was mental.
Saying Coutinho was in there as well.
Yeah, good old Coutinho. Although you're better with him.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. So that's the other thing as well. The partnership between Suarez and Sturridge.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, that's why.
Are they your top 2, or have you gone for somebody else up the top with Suarez?
I've gone with somebody else. So
if you had Sturridge up top,
no,
I would leave this chat right
now. I went for Fowler.
Yeah.
Fair.
Just say he's our top Premier League goal scorer, and I'd say bar probably Ian Rush, he's probably the best striker we've ever had. So
yeah,
and again he also got kind of shafted with the England side with who he was up against.
He had to go against Shearer.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Going against Shearer, Sheringham,
Lineker when he was coming through as well.
Yeah, Lineker, even like Ian Wright and people like that. No, like Lineker was the 80s, wasn't
he? Yeah, but like Lineker, when Fowler was coming through, like early 90s, Lineker still had the Euros box. He had the Euro 90, didn't he? Lineker.
Yeah. I'm with you. But
so when he was coming through and being the exciting kid you might put on the bench, Lineker was there. And then when he was like, yeah, right, I'll play. You have to get past Shearer and Sheringham and stuff. For God's sake.
Yeah, man just couldn't catch a break. And even when he left and came back, like obviously his legs had gone, but the quality was still there. He still knew where the net were.
Yeah, I've had to agonise over mine, to be honest. I really have, and I'm still not sure.
Okay, you go.
I've gone Suarez purely because, like you're saying there, so he was your most talented striker.
Yeah,
and then I've had a lot of internal crisis over Fowler and Owen, and I really don't know. I still don't know.
For my first instinct was Owen, just because he was ridiculous, but then he left way too early. I think to be classed as one of Liverpool's best.
But the thing is, if you've got like 17-year-old Michael Owen versus height of his powers Robbie Fowler, I really genuinely don't know which one I'd rather have. I think it would be Owen, and that's why I'm like, I think I'm going to go with Owen.
Yeah, there's definitely an argument for Owen. Like he's one of the most naturally talented goal scorers we've ever had.
Yeah,
But to be honest with you, him going to United ruined his legacy, and that's an issue. That's why a lot of Liverpool fans won't even.
He just wanted to go
acknowledge
somewhere
him
so he could play. To be honest,
he did, and like obviously injuries didn't help him either.
no, they didn't. But that's what I mean. If we're going for our dream 11, where like they'd be playing at the height of their powers, whenever like that's what we're putting down on paper, I'd Owen just pips Fowler for me, just.
Yeah, it's close. It's close, but I think it's overall it's probably Fowler. But again, like I say, in terms of probably pure ability, it's probably Owen.
Yeah.
Plus Owen did it for England as well. So
That's why I had to go Owen. So
yeah,
but I respect Fowler, to be fair.
yeah. Did you go for Owen as well, George?
No, I started off with Owen and then I went Torres because
Yeah, you went Torres.
because the man was ridiculous.
No, yeah,
But-
to be fair, yeah.
And Suarez had that incredible season, and he did things that, no other player could in the Premier League at the time. But Fernando Torres he was a terrifying striker. Some of the defenders he just bullied. He tore us to shreds on a regular basis, which is why we bought him. And even like the United defense, which was just ridiculous. He made it look so easy. And the pace that he had was insane. And his finishing was insane.
Every type of goal as well. Left foot, right foot. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was big as well and powerful. He just had a bit of everything. And he was a proper number 9 in a lot of ways.
It felt like he came out of nowhere as well, because we heard a bit about him when he was at Atletico, but I don't think anybody understood how good he was until he came to us.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just think back to the goals that he scored and the way that he did it, and that Torres, not our Torres sadly, but that Torres would have walked into any team in the world at the time.
Yeah, that Blackburn goal for me. Yeah, right in the corner of the box.
But is he John Carew though? That's the question, boys.
He is not. He is definitely not John Carew.
For better or worse.
For better or worse, he's not John Carew.
Who's the manager? Because there's only 2 really. There's only 2 it can be.
I told you it's Roy Hodgson. Why are we still debating this?
No, it's got to be Jurgen Klopp or Rafa Benitez. So I'm curious to see who you're going for.
It's Jurgen Klopp for me.
Yeah,
he just embodies Liverpool perfectly.
And as we talked about earlier, he's a manager that had a strategy and executed it to perfection.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Plus, the club's never felt more settled than it has now, in the Premier League. I don't think, because I've never seen a manager get appointed at a big club like that, and everyone just straight away was like, okay, yeah, this makes sense.
There's always controversies, and then when you appoint a big manager, are they really going to work?
There's always someone who's like, nah, I don't think it's the right choice. When Dalglish came back, it was obviously it's a legend coming back, so everyone was happy about it, but there was still a few that were like, well, what's the point of him coming back now? Can he still do it? Whereas with Klopp, it was perfect, and just you can see the bond that he's got with the players and the fans.
I'd be gutted if I was United, who went for both Pep and Klopp after Fergie left and got neither of them.
Got David Moyes.
Yeah.
yeah, has to be Klopp.
And on that bombshell, our well-oiled, efficient podcast machine, which only took about an hour and a half, comes to an end. It's been a marathon.
It has been a marathon.
Through 20 years, over 20 years, nearly 30 years, oh my God.
Yeah.
In 90 minutes, give or take. But yeah, I think I'm happy. I'm happy with that.
I'm happy with the teams.
Yeah, I'm content. I'm content.
And now I'm going to go and cry at the fact that Chelsea team used to be the Chelsea team, and now it's not.
And they got Kurt Zuma.
We're just going to go away. We're going to go away and have the Lampard-Gerrard debate.
No, we're not.
No, we're going to save that for another week so we can record it.
That's going to be a debate.
That'll take 3 hours.
Yeah. Break down game by game, goal by goal.
That'll take 3 hours, and then in the last hour, someone will say Paul Scholes, and then it'll stretch out to another 10.
No, it will not. Someone will say Paul Scholes, and you will say, shut up.
Yeah, Scholes is not better than Jack.
He's nowhere near. Anyway.
Okay. Let's get out of it.
Thank you for listening. Check out future episodes in which we will discuss our dream transfers, We might even tackle Dream Premier League 11 of all time. That would be funny. And plenty more stuff in the pipeline.
And check
See
out
you on
the
the next
film
one.
podcast. Check out the film
Check out the film
podcast.
podcast. It's
Yeah,
called Three
check out the
Guys
film
Talk Film.
Yeah, it's original. It's very original.
It's original. It's original. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for
Goodbye.
listening.
Bye.
Bye.